Okay, so I'll talk a bit about what we're going to do today whilst anyone else arrives. We're focusing on like slowing down, turning the focus inwards, because it was the new moon yesterday, or was it Saturday night, and that can really be an invitation to go inwards. So to work with one of the 8 limbs of yoga, which is sense withdrawal. And that's the idea of taking space to kind of switch off from external distractions. And it's a big part of our yoga practice. It's like when we close the eyes, we switch off from our sense of sight and we start looking inside, noticing stuff that we might not necessarily be noticing on the day-to-day schedule. Hey Lindsay, back from a well-needed break from DIY. Cool, good. Yes, I'm well, thank you. Hope you're well too. And we've got Nathan as well. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, we're going with the new moon vibes, and we're going to slow it down. We'll do some moon salutations. And also it was a Cancerian new moon. I never know what I think about astrology. Like, I don't know if I actually believe it or not, but I think it's really nice to give just general themes or guidelines to work with. And so the Cancerian is a crab, so it's always carrying its home with it wherever it goes. And I really like that as an intention for today's class as well. This idea that the body is our home, and that through our yoga practice we're kind of coming home to ourselves. Cancer's sign in astrology is also a lot about like self-mothering, self-nurturing. So we can put in a dollop of self-compassion today. We kind of do that every day anyway, but yeah, even more so. So I'll let you start in a child's pose if that's comfortable. You do want to be really comfortable, so if child's pose is actually not that comfy for you, then feel free to start lying down or seated. Whatever's going to make you feel like you're beginning in a really relaxed and nurturing way. So you can come into your beginning soft and relaxing posture. And take this first few moments of your posture practice to welcome yourself to your mat. You can even like repeat to yourself in your head, hey, welcome, in a like nice friendly tone, and sending a bit of an inner smile to all of your cells, all of your body. And you can take a deep full breath, so you really feel that belly ballooning out sensation, and a sigh out the mouth. You can even brr the lips a bit like a horse, and you can do that a few times. The big full belly breath and the sigh out the mouth, or the brr of the lips. And that's given you a chance to fill yourself up with fresh energy, big inhale, and empty yourself out of anything stagnant that you want to get rid of before we start flowing through our movement. And wherever you are, start to relax the shoulders a bit more if that feels possible. You might actually notice there's some kind of sticky, tense bits between the shoulder blades, and you can think about these parts as you breathe in. So you notice that the upper back puffs out on the inhale. And invite the exhale to carry out any of that stickiness, any of that tension. And set your own intention here along the lines of taking care of yourself and honouring your body as your home. And when you're ready, you can roll all the way up, so you're stacking your vertebrae. Your head comes up last. And we'll get seated in a cross-legged position to take a few circles to begin with. And so the new moon is the darkest phase of the lunar calendar. And it really does invite us to tune into kind of a watery element. So the moon controls the tides, and it invites us to feel into more fluidity in the way that we move. So you can drop your head here, you can close your eyes, you can really imagine a whirlpool, a watery sensation throughout the body. And take it round the other direction as well. Notice if anything feels particularly different when you go the other way. Then you're going to sit up tall, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Let's get a little bit of movement in there. And then up, back and forward as well. And we'll inhale to squidge our shoulders up to our ears. Pause the breath to take the shoulders back, still up. Exhale, roll them all the way down. So you're squeezing the backs of the shoulder blades together. Inhale, shoulders come forward and up to the ears. Pause your breath to take the shoulders back. And exhale, take them all the way down. Again, following your pace, you'll inhale to bring them up. At the peak of your inhale, pause to bring them back. Exhale, the shoulders come all the way down. Then open up your arms. You can have that light feeling in the hands. So maybe imagine you can feel resistance of water against your skin here as you brush your fingers and hands forwards and backwards. Your wrists might click a little bit. And you can really slow down that movement by feeling the sense of resistance, imaginary water against the palms, against the backs of the hands. And then still moving with this slow, mindful intention, we're going to inhale to tilt the chin up, expand across the chest, arms back. Exhale, chin to chest, wrap your arms all the way around, give yourself a big hug. Inhale, open up, take the gaze up. Exhale, change the cross of your arms this time for your hug in. And then let's follow your own breath here, so the inhale always comes that big open gesture. And the exhales where we turn our focus inwards, we look down the nose, maybe close the eyes. Do a couple more rounds of that. Good. The next time that you hug in, let's stay there for a few moments so you can let the head drop as heavy as feels possible, and you can also take little self-soothing sways from side to side. This one's a good stretch for the shoulders, for the upper back, but it can also be a gesture of presence. And also some of us might not actually have anyone to hug at the moment with all these strange times, so it's always good to give yourself a hug as well, even if you do have other people to hug, or pets or whatever. And when you're ready, we'll pop into our all fours position. Wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. You can take a little sway of your hips from side to side. Let's gaze behind the right, gaze behind the left. Do that a couple of times. And then I'll invite you to move through a few cat-cows. So let's inhale to drop the belly, take the gaze up. Exhale to hug the belly up and round the back. Inhale, belly drops, gaze forward. Exhale, you might push the floor a little bit here to round the back. And you can keep moving through these cat-cows. If you're pretty familiar with this and you do it a lot and you want to add something in, then on the inhale you can push into the heels of the hands and lift the fingers up. Then on the exhale you can lift the heels of the hands up, round the back, press the padded part of your fingertips into the ground. Inhale, fingers lift up, heels of the hand down. Exhale, heels of the hand lift, finger pads push to floor. And when you're ready, you can sit back into kneeling. Place the backs of the hands on the thighs so the palms are facing up in a gesture of openness, of reception. Take a moment here to gaze all the way down the nose, so you're nodding your chin to your chest and you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the back of the neck there. You can either keep the gaze down towards your chest or you can close your eyes completely, and you're going to take this moment to really notice your breath again. So we're feeling for the rise and fall of every inhale and exhale. The head is heavy, the hands are relaxed and soft. And you can also pay particular attention to the ground beneath you here. So that ground is nice and stable, nice and solid. When you're ready, let's inhale to sweep the arms up. So you've got your hips above your knees. And you can take a bit of a sway from side to side here. You might like to imagine that you're long grass swaying in the breeze on a beautiful summer's day. I feel like we got told that in a PE class once in primary school. It's funny what things just pop out of nowhere. Okay, now you're going to find your way really mindfully, really gently into a ragdoll. So that's where you've got your feet hips width apart, your knees are generously bent, and you can drape your body over so the head drops, you're looking at your knees. Or again, feel free to close your eyes if you want to work with that sense withdrawal. So turning off any stimulus or distractions from the outside world. You can take hold of opposite elbows and sway from side to side as well. You could also play a little bit with the weight distribution in the feet, perhaps rocking forwards and backwards ever so slightly. Then when you're ready, we'll start to lengthen through the legs, take the hands to the shins or the thighs. We still want a little micro bend in the knees. We're hugging the lower belly in. We're gazing down at the ground, so the back of the neck is long. Take a few breaths here in your halfway lift. So we're looking for a long spine here. And the shoulders are coming back as well, away from the ears. You're pressing down through the center part of your heel, the big toe mound, and the outer edge of your foot, well, both feet. And then keep using that core engagement, so that slight hug in of the lower belly to lift you up. You can even squeeze the glutes ever so slightly at the top. We'll take the feet wide and we're going to swing the arms. So arms are nice and heavy. You can lift opposite heel as you turn to gaze around to the side. And the hands will kind of slap the sides of your hips. And you can imagine now that you've got little droplets of water all over your skin and you're trying to brush it off. So we'll start at the scalp, brushing off imaginary droplets of water off the face, off the neck, the shoulders. You can be quite vigorous on the arms here. And the chest, the belly, the backs. Brushing off quite vigorously on the legs as well. So imagine you really cleaning yourself, getting rid of anything sticky that you don't want that might be a bit stuck to you metaphorically. Get it right off the toes, both legs, make sure you do. And then give everything a final shake as well. And we'll go for our moon salutations. So I really love moon salutations because it allows us to work with those qualities of introspection, creativity, flow. So with our sun salutations, it's quite structured and linear. Yeah, we go forward, back, forward. We work quite a lot with the alignment, like in the down dog, it's very specific. And with the chaturanga, we have like right angles that we want with the arms and all this very linear, structured stuff. With our moon salutations, we're not working with that same solar, fiery energy. we're working with the lunar energy, which is where, like I was saying, we get to turn the focus inwards, we get to be more flowy, more watery, and it's cooling, it's nurturing, rather than fiery. So let's stand up all the way to the right side of your mat, and you're going to do all of this long ways. So if you want to change your mat a little bit so that you can see the screen better, feel free. So you're right up at the short end of the right side of your mat. Your feet are hips width apart, feet parallel. And we'll start by inhaling the arms up, palms together. Exhale, reach the arm up and over to the right. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So you're pressing down through the left heel, the opposite foot to the way the arms are going. And you can still have that little hug in of the belly. And we're feeling for that side stretch in the left side of the body. Let's inhale to slowly come to center. And exhale, bring the palms to your heart. Inhale, step wide. Exhale, right toes point to short edge of the mat. Let's take a few breaths here whilst we set up. So the left toes are pointing to the long edge, right toes to the short edge. You can kind of dip your hips back a little bit here and take your arms out wide, spread your fingers. And let's slowly start to reach. You want to start engaging the core here. And then bring your arm to the inside of your leg, wherever it comes, and the top arm comes up. So this is triangle, Trikanasana. And you might be able to come lower, but if you feel like you start going over like this when you come lower, then back off a little bit. It's more important we've got this openness, this expansion across the chest, and we're steering it open to the long edge of your mat. Top hand comes to back hip, and bottom hand comes to bottom hip. You're then going to come up and steer both hips to face the short edge of your mat. So it's like if you put your palms on the outer edges of your hips, your fingers would both point forwards. So that left hip's gone from being open to the side to curling forward. And you're going to help yourself there by bringing the toes about 45 degrees rather than pointing to the long edge. They're going to point more towards the top left corner of your mat. We're coming to pyramid pose now, so let's take a moment to lift up tall through the crown of the head here. Take an inhale with that length. On your exhale, draw up and back through the right hip crease and start to lean over that right leg. So it's going to be quite handy if you've got a wall or a chair or anything here, because you can actually hold for balance. Or you can also hold the shin for balance. You might find your hands come all the way down to the mat. So you're trying to lift the chest up and then over, keeping the spine nice and long. From there, we're going to bend the back knee and take it to the floor for a lunge. So you can bring your hands to your hips here. You can move forwards and backwards a little bit for a little few breaths. Then we'll settle with that right knee over the right ankle and take an inhale to brush your arms all the way up. Take a few breaths here, focusing on that lift up through the fingertips, that sense of the left hip rolling forwards. Then inhale, arms are reaching up. Exhale, slowly brush them down and back. Inhale, slowly reach them up. Exhale, brush them down. Inhale, arms up. This time, as you exhale, we're taking them to the inside of that right leg. And you're going to turn to face the long edge of your mat for Skandasana, side lunge. So you might find that it's going to be best for you to work with being on your knee, your right knee. Left toes draw up towards you. You might find that you can come into that little half squat position, hands to the floor. Take a moment here to stabilize yourself wherever you are. A few deep breaths. And then we're coming up to our star pose. So open the arms wide. Toes are pointing out a little bit here. Heels coming in a little. We take a few moments here to take that swaying motion from side to side. Then stand firm in the middle, take a big inhale, spread your hands, spread your face, open your mouth, your eyes. Exhale, knees direction of toes. We're coming into squat pose, so you might be kind of up here with the knees just a little bent. You might be able to bring your hips all. We're working with that nurturing lunar energy. So you can always back off out of these postures a little bit to find something that's going to feel supportive, as well as a little bit of effort to hold, but also really focusing on that ease, that comfort. And seeing as though it was the new moon of the crab, you can also make little pincer hands and walk up and down your mat like a crab. Imagining that you're carrying your home with you on your back and remembering that wherever you are home because you've got yourself. Okie doke, back to 5-pointed star. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to windmill all the way down to the other side. So Skandasana, side lunge. Remember, you can come to the left knee and that might be more supportive for you. Whichever one you're taking. Few deep breaths to stabilise. Your heart rate might have picked up after our little crab movements. Impromptu, that wasn't in the plan. And then let's take ourselves round to our lunge. So this time you've got your right knee bent on the floor, your left knee bent over your left ankle. Your right hip is rolling forward. You're drawing up and back on your left hip crease. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, let's slowly brush them down. You can again kind of notice for that sense of inhale, reach up, of that sense of resistance of water against your skin. Exhale, down. We'll do one more. You can really feel for slowing down the movement of the arms through the air. As you exhale, the arms will glide to frame that front foot. And you're going to tuck your back toes, take your back feet to toes to 45 degrees. So the heel's a little bit in, the toes are a little bit out. And we're coming straight to our pyramid, so if you need to lift yourself up a little bit, find length in your back. That can be a good idea. So we're inhaling, reaching up and away through the crown of the head. Exhaling to fold over. If you've got a wall, by all means, use it to steady yourself. You can pop your hands on a chair to the legs. Or you might even find you can have them in prayer. And we're going to inhale all the way up. And this time the toes can come out a little bit, more towards the long edge of the mat. And you can dip your hips back a little bit, your pelvis back, arms wide. Stretch your fingers here for a moment, wiggle them. And then let's start to reach up and over the left side with that left arm. Hug in lower belly and come to your Trikanasana triangle pose. Take a few deep breaths here, sturdy and planted down through the feet. So the body is the home, but we're also connecting to the roots. That could be the roots of your ancestry, the roots of connecting to the earth. So take an inhale to hug in lower belly and come up, and an exhale to step all the way to the other edge of the mat to where we started. Feet hips width apart. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, lean up and over to the left, so you're rooting down through right heel, opposite heel to where the hands are reaching. Take a few breaths here, feeling into that side stretch. Inhale, reach your palms up. Exhale, palms to heart center. So this one, the moon salutations are called a mandala sequence because You go from one edge of the mat, all the way to the other, and then normally we'd find our way back to the top of the mat as well in a big circle, cyclical like the lunar cycles. But we don't have time to do the other one, which is fine. We're going to come straight down onto our backs for a few last stretches and then a relaxation. We've only got about 5 minutes left, so let's make the most of it. You're going to stretch out your left leg, hugging your right knee towards your right armpit. You can circle out your foot there as well, one direction then the other. You can also make little circles with your knee when you're ready. And notice what sensations arise in the right side as you take this gentle movement. You can then stretch that right leg out on the ground. Start to hug your left knee up towards the left side of the chest. Give it a good squeeze up towards you and circle out the foot one way and then the other way. You can then make little circles with your knee. Maybe this side feels noticeably different to the right side. Maybe the sensations that arise in the left are similar. And then pop both legs and both hands up in the air. So you're a bit like a bug on its back, you know, and the legs start to flail all over the place. So you can do that with your arms and your legs. But probably trying to move a bit slower than a distressed bug. So we can bring in more nurturing qualities. Again, maybe feeling that resistance of water against the skin and really exploring all of the space around you. You might actually feel a little bit like your limbs are floating without gravity, but your back feels really firmly rooted down. And then you can take a happy baby here. So that's where the knees steer out towards the armpits and the soles of the feet are facing towards the ceiling. You can take hold of the big toes, the ankles. Maybe for you it's best to take hold behind the knees and try and just draw the knees down towards the armpits. And you want to be pushing your lower back down into the mat here so the tailbone's not lifting up. You can take a little rock from side to side. You can make a big smile with your mouth, even if it seems a little fake, depending what mood you're in. And then we'll stretch the legs out on the ground. The hands can rest gently on the belly if you want to kind of feel the breath in the belly here. Or you can take the arms out wide, palms facing up in acceptance for your Shavasana. And we're taking this final minute or so to close down the eyes, to let the body be really still. So this is a moment of integration. And you might like to invite in the water element here by visualizing with your mind's eye some kind of peaceful water for you, whether that's the waves of an ocean or a stream, a river in a forest. Picture a type of water that feels peaceful. And invite in the cleansing qualities of that element of water. Like with every breath, you're washing yourself clean. And as always, you can choose to stay here in your Shavasana, or if you're ready to crack on with whatever it is you were up to today before you came here, then you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, gently signal to your body that it's time to get up. You'll then hug the knees to your chest. Take a roll to one side, curl up in a little ball. And let's really soak up the nurturing qualities of this posture where you're lying on one side. So know that you're supported, know that you're safe. And keeping the eyes closed or the gaze lowered, you can prop yourself up to seated. Bringing the palms together in prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Bowing your head in honour of your practice and in gratitude to all that your body can do, to your body for being your home. Thank you, body. When you're ready, you can inhale, take a big stretch. And you can open the eyes, take a yawn. Maybe tap the skin around the face a little bit. Time to wake up. And enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to be here tomorrow leading a meditation at 12:30, same situation, live streamed. Then on Wednesday evenings at 6 I do a full hour class, so that allows us to get a bit deeper into the practice, do some breath work, some postures, and yeah, have a bit of a longer time. So you're welcome to join that as well. I update information on my social media. And as always, it's lovely to hear from you as well, so feel free to leave something in the comments about your practice, and I will hopefully see you again. Not that I can actually see you, but I know that you're there. Bye bye.